of Michigan as we come your way from the Dort Federal Event Center here in Flint. What a wonderful venue this is. It's embedded in the rich tradition of Flint, Michigan, as the Flint Firebirds, who are a phenomenal junior hockey team, play here during the course of the week and the weekends and providing entertainment for the fans here in Flint. And no doubt we have one of your very own, Anthony Dirrell, making his return here. He hasn't fought in Flint, Michigan in 6 years. The former world champion is coming home. When we were thinking about this event, he wanted to make sure to come home to have a fight here in Flint, Michigan for the fans, for the community, and we are certainly behind that. PBC on FS1. We go live at 9 o'clock Eastern Time on Friday, November 17th, 8 o'clock Central, as the doors will open up at 7 o'clock. We have a stacked undercard with a lot of local fighters, and then in our main event, Anthony the Dog Dirrell takes on Dennis Douglin, a showdown in the super middleweight division. Now, it's Friday night, November 17th. The event, PBC on FS1, is brought to you by TGB Promotions along with Salida Promotions. And the man that I'm getting ready to introduce happens to be the president of TGB Promotions. When you talk about knowing the sport of boxing, this man knows it like the back of his hand. He has been instrumental in over 30 years of his time in the sport of helping to develop the careers of U.S. gold medalist David Reed, Andre Ward, who was a part of the Renaissance in the career of James Toney, the Ruelas brothers, also worked with Mike Tyson, and TGB Promotions have promoted countless top-level events around the world for many, many years, and Friday, November 17th will certainly be no exception. It's great to be here in Flint as we bring up to the stage the president of TGB Promotions, certainly going to be on his way to the International Boxing Hall of Fame, Mr. Tom Brown.
Thank you, Ray. And now you know why I bring Ray to all these shows. I get a good pat on the back. It's really great to get out here to Michigan. I came in from LA, and I don't know if anyone saw the game one of the World Series last night, but it's hotter than hell out there, so it's good to get some real fall weather out here. I want to start by thanking the media for coming out today to support this event. TGB Promotions is very happy to be here promoting the former WBC world champion, Anthony Dirrell. Tickets for this event, promoted by TGB Promotions, Double D Enterprises, and Salida Promotions, start at just $20. They're available here at the Dort Federal Credit Union box office and at Ticketmaster.com. I also want to thank Jeremy Torres, the general manager here, for all his support and helping us get this event up and running. He's been just great to work with. As Ray mentioned, this is a special Friday night edition of Toe to Toe Tuesday on FS1, so we really should have a great rating on this, and we've got the right guy with Dirrell on this. Dimitri Salida, my co-promoter, and I were kind of kicking some thoughts around on how to best promote this event, and we were looking at different charities to maybe support, and then it was right in front of our eyes, the Dirrell's Chance Foundation. Yeah. Anthony Dirrell was the founder of the Dirrell Chance Foundation. He actively gives back to the community here in Flint through acts of charity and public speaking. Anthony's an inspiration to many and a true testament of never giving up in the ring and outside of the ring. So we're going to donate a portion of every ticket sold to the Dirrell Chance Foundation. Now, that's great. I'm going to throw this back to Ray to get things going here with the co-promoters and some of the important guys, the fighters on the card. Thanks.
Thank you, Tom. Tom Brown of TGB Promotions. As Tom mentioned, PBC on FS1, what a year that we have had here throughout the course of 2017. Boxing has had a phenomenal year, so many amazing fights and wonderful events. And you know what is wonderful is that we are going to the hometowns of these fighters. We have been to Toledo, Ohio for Robert Easter Jr. We've been to Los Angeles for Leo Santa Cruz and Abner Mares, and we're coming here to Flint, Michigan, to the hometown of Anthony Dirrell. And one of those men who've been very instrumental in boxing here in the state of Michigan happens to be Dimitri Salita. And incidentally, he was a 12-year pro, actually fought Amir Khan for the World Championship, so he knows a thing or two about stepping inside the ring, and is also a terrific promoter, as well as he's promoted countless events on television. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the co-promoter of PBC on FS1 on Friday, November 17th, Dimitri Salita.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank the PBC Boxing brand for bringing this big boxing show here, TGB, Mr. Tom Brown, of course Anthony Dirrell for making sure that this big boxing show comes here on November 17th at the Dorr Center. Ever since we started promoting boxing here, it was always our goal to bring consistent world-class boxing to the state of Michigan. And as all of you know, Michigan is home to some of the greatest fighters of all time that have come from before us and that are active today, trendsetters, real heroes in our game. And actually, last week, from this region, we had many representatives from the city of Flint at the U.S. Nationals, did really well. I believe one of the kids even won the Nationals. So it's a tremendous accomplishment, and the amount of young talent coming out from this state and from this region is really amazing. And as a fighter coming up, it's very important as a young kid that you're able to see progression, that you're able to see the guys that train next to you being able to fight on Fox, being able to fight on HBO, being able to fight on Showtime. And it's great that Anthony has took this initiative to bring this big show here. And we have a packed undercard with local fighters that are from our Detroit Pro Series, from our Showtime shows here, that are going to come bring their fans and bring the excitement. I think it's going to be a great show. Again, tickets are priced very modestly, and as Tom Brown mentioned, every ticket sale is going to benefit the Dirrell Foundation, which is going to give toys to kids for the upcoming holidays. So again, I want to thank you all, and I look forward to seeing you on November 17th. Thank you.
Dimitri Salita, ladies and gentlemen, of Salita Promotions. As both Tom and Dimitri have been talking about, tickets start as low as $20, and we have a loaded undercard with a lot of tremendous up-and-coming talent, which you are going to have the opportunity to meet. So tickets start as low as $20. The doors will open up at 7 o'clock. First bout will be inside the ring shortly thereafter, Friday, November 17th, BBC on FS1, brought to you by TGB Promotions and Salita Promotions. And now let's bring up this venue. The Dorr Federal Event Center is home to a wonderful hockey team in the Flint Firebirds. They do a tremendous job. They have several players that are signed and that play for NHL teams, and they continue to cultivate amazing talent here. This is without a doubt the best junior hockey league in the United States, and I would even say maybe throughout the world, and you see them on the next level. But it is wonderful that we're here in Flint for this very event. Now let's bring up to the stage Jeremy Torrey, who is the manager of the Dorr Federal Event Center.
Thank you for coming out today. First, I want to thank everyone that's been involved in making this possible. Tom from Brown Promotions, Anthony Dirrell and his management. It's great when our community has a chance to see our heroes and our champions back home performing live in front of our community. And the fact that this is going to be on national television on FS1 is just awesome. It's going to give the country a chance to see the best that Flint has to offer. And we're happy to be a part of that. When our owner, Rolf Nelson, purchased the facility just under 3 years ago with the goal of bringing the Firebirds here and bringing first-class entertainment, this is the kind of events we were looking at bringing to the arena, bringing to our community. And, over the last 3 years, we've invested $3 to $4 million into this facility to upgrade it so it can accommodate world-class events. And we're excited about having the chance to watch Anthony compete here with the world's eyes on Flint and on this facility. I want to hopefully see everyone out there on November 17th. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. And if you get an opportunity, when you see it on Fight Night, and even during hockey games, this is a tremendous facility. There is not a bad seat in the house, and tickets start as low as $20. Let's welcome up some fighters that will be on the undercard for PBC on FS1 Premier Boxing Champions here in Flint, Michigan. As we want to bring up a terrific young fighter who's a 2-year pro, 7 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 5 wins coming by way of knockout. Had a stellar amateur career as he won the U.S. Nationals and captured a gold back in 2014 in the bantamweight division. As we bring up Jericho Quinn, ladies and gentlemen. Bring up Jericho Quinn to say a couple of words. He's undefeated and looking to make a statement on Friday, November 17th.
How y'all doing this morning, evening? I'm Jericho Quinn, the Great Lakes King, and November 17th, I'm just be making another statement, improving my performances, and as I give all the glory to God, it's gonna be another show. Y'all don't want to miss it. I've been training hard, and I'm in tremendous shape. I'm gonna be sharp. It's gonna be an exciting fight. I'm going for the knockout, and that's what it's gonna be. I'm happy to bring my talent up here to Flint, and I'm happy to be on the call with Anthony Dirrell, and I gotta thank my promoter, Demetrius Salida, and everybody else, Dennis Turner. Man, it's gonna be a great. It's been a great camp. It's gonna be a great night of fights on FS1 Sports, and that's what it's gonna be, y'all. Thanks.
Jericho Quinn, ladies and gentlemen, he looks like he can fight tomorrow, if not tonight, but we'll have to wait a couple of weeks until Friday, November 17th here in Flint. And now let's bring up another gentleman who is 13-1 with 9 knockouts to his credit. He likes to put away his adversaries. He's won 5 straight victories, originally from Russia, now residing in the Detroit area. Please welcome Alexei Zubov, ladies and gentlemen.
I want to say thank you for the opportunity to fight in this show. My promoter, Dmitry Salida, and to make this show, GTB Promotions, I'm show that I'm top fighter in my weight class division. I want to prove it, and I want to be the best in my weight class division. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alexei Zubov. I can assure you he's going to do all his talking inside the ring on November 17th. And also we want to bring up a young man. When it comes to the Dirrell brothers, they have such a rich family tradition. You have Anthony, the former world champion. You have Andre, who went ahead and medaled in the Olympics. And also, you have a young man who is their cousin who's going to be making their pro debut coming up on November 17th. Please welcome Leon Lawson III, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, y'all? I didn't know I was coming up here, but when I fight, when I fight and turn professional, it's gonna be a new chapter in the boxing book. I'm ready for it. I've been in the sport for a long time now, and I'm prepared to turn pro. My professional debut will be a show. Yeah, thank you.
Leon Lawson III, ladies and gentlemen, making his pro debut PBC on FS1, brought to you by TGB Promotions and Salida Promotions. Also, I want to thank a very special thank you to one of our main sponsors. They have been with us from the very inception of PBC. Corona Extra La Cerveza Más Fina. Corona Beer has been so instrumental and working with us in helping to put on and be a sponsor. And you know, there's nothing like watching a PBC on FS1 event while drinking Corona Beer. And now we want to continue with our loaded undercard as we bring up with a record of 12 wins, 7 of those coming by way of knockout against 1 defeat. He is a 6-year pro, had a terrific matchup despite the fact that he suffered a stumble against Josh Greer as we bring up James Gordon Smith.
How y'all doing today? It was a little more than a stumble, but we working on it. Talk about the stumble. It was a little more than a stumble, but I want to thank Salida Promotions and everybody for having me back to fight again. But I've been working on it to not make sure that stumble don't happen again. We've been back in the gym. I've been training with Sugar here, working on all my problems, and I'm here to have fun. Not looking for a knockout. I got caught last time while I was looking for one. So just go on, have a good time, and just pick up where I left off. Hopefully I get some rounds this time. I love another fast knockout. If it comes, it comes. I'm just here to have a good time. Thank y'all.
James Gordon Smith, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? What's great about him is that he gambles. You gotta love a fighter that goes for it. And even though he suffered that blemish, he still went for it, and he will no doubt go for it on Friday, November 17th. And a part of our televised portion, ladies and gentlemen, we have a young fighter who I've had the privilege to get to know over the past couple of years with Premier Boxing Champions. 19-1 and 1 is his record with 10 knockouts, 27 years of age. He competes in the ultra-competitive super welterweight division. Right now, 154 is one of the most loaded divisions in all of boxing. You have the WBC champion, Dirrell Charlo. You go ahead and look at the WBA champion, Erislandy Lara, the IBF champion, Jared Hurd. So much talent that is at 154, and this young man is helping to make up that loaded division. He's won 2 straight victories. Had a draw with Oscar Molina. Had a barn burner of a matchup last year in Las Vegas against Justin DeLoach. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dominic 3D Dalton.
First off, I want to start off by saying I'm just thankful to be here. Earlier this year, I was working my first job and stepping in the plant. I ain't going back to that life for sure. Been working on her. I ain't going back to that plant like for sure. I'm gonna fight my way to the top for real, and I'm putting in work. I just came back from training camp in Norway. I'm gonna be finishing my campaign over at Clark Gym to get the best sparring that we have here in Michigan and probably the country. And I'm just ready to get this win shit back on the road. And I've been about for 20 years of my life, and I was ready to reap the benefits. And just ready to really get started, man. Where I left off at several of my first loss, I had to get my mind right. And find peace for myself, and just ready to get back to fighting and stuff and doing what I love. And thank you. I'll see you on November 17th.
Dominic 3D Dalton, ladies and gentlemen, part of that amazing card. And now we want to go ahead and bring up to the stage, when it comes to boxing here in Michigan, you look at one of the founding gyms that have been just instrumental around the world to helping to develop some of the best fighters of all time. I look at the Kronk Boxing Gym, and incidentally, this is the 5-year anniversary of the passing of the late great Emanuel Stewart. And it's just fitting that without what he was able to do with the Kronk Boxing Gym, it's fair to say that we wouldn't be having this event on Friday, November 17th with PBC on FS1. He helped to develop and be a home for so many great young fighters and develop them into being world champions and iconic names throughout the sport of boxing. And this man happens to be the nephew of the late great Emanuel Stewart, but he's also carved out his own name as well. back in the Kronk Boxing Gym in the late 90s. He was a part of the renaissance, the resurgence of the Kronk Boxing Gym. Happened to be in the corner and guide the careers of Adonis Stevenson, Cornelius, K9 Bundridge, and countless others. He also happens to be and will be in the corner of Anthony Dirrell on Friday, November 17th. And also, he's in the corner of Charles Martin, former heavyweight champion. Martin went to him to try to fix things and get himself back on track. And I'll tell you, first and foremost, Charles Martin is a very bad man, especially with Javon Sugar Hill now in his corner. He knows the sport of boxing. He's embedded in the fabric of what Michigan is all about. He's a former police officer for the city of Detroit and now focuses on boxing full-time. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome Javon Sugar Hill, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, everybody. I guess that was a wonderful introduction. Never had one quite like that before. I'm happy to be here at the Dordt Center. This is a place that I've been, the last time I was here, maybe 2001, 2002, when I first started out training fighters. One of the events was here at this center, and I just heard that they did some remodeling. I went in to look at it and saw that it's been remodeled, so it's a different view. The arena, I like it myself personally for a boxing event. It's the perfect size, really, for an event not too big, not too small, but just close enough where every seat is a good seat. These kind of places, I think are ideal for boxing, like to have somewhere you can come to have shows, frequently, where you can build up these fighters such as James Gordon-Smith, Jericho Quinn, Dominique Dalton, Alexei Zubov, Lil Leon Lawson. These guys here are fighting on Anthony Dirrell's undercard, which Anthony fought here before. And, he's back here and able to bring back boxing in Flint, Michigan. For these guys here to have their debut and have them be exposed to boxing on a bigger level than just being local. This is Fox 1. This is viewed all over the country, pretty much different feeds all over the world. So this gives a chance for these young fighters to showcase their talents and to prove that they have something more than just being a fighter from Michigan. They can prove to the world and show the world and gain fans and gain access to all things with their performances on these kind of events. I thank Dimitri Salita for putting on this show here, traveling from New York, making his home here in Michigan, and being able to put on fights to bring up these fighters, which we have such a rich talent of boxers in the city of Michigan, in the Midwest as well. Thank you for Tom Brown as the co-promoter, Premier Boxing Champions, who's also been doing an excellent job in promoting and getting fighters to fight more frequently on not just big pay-per-view fights, but on the regular stations. It's something that I grew up watching on regular TV. They had Toe to Toe Tuesday, which I remember watching. They had Tuesday night fights at the Palace in Auburn Hills back in the 90s when Michael Moore and Obakar, those guys were coming up through boxing and making history here at that place. So this is just another event in my life that I'm going to have fond memories of, to pass on and cherish through the years. So November 17th here at the Dordt Center is going to be a great fight, a great undercard, spectacular. And everybody's pretty much training in the same place. They're training at the Kronk Gym, or somebody has some kind of relationship with the Kronk Gym. And with those guys all being together, it's always been seen that they're going to make better fighters, because everybody's pushing each other. Everybody's like a big family to me, and I'm sure they feel the same way. So November 17th, this is going to be an electric crowd, electric fight, and we just hope that we have a big enough turnout to make it even more exciting. These boxers deserve a big turnout. They've been working so hard for most of their lives. Dominique is 27 years old. He's been boxing since he was 7. That's a long time. Anthony's been boxing even longer than that. So these guys are ready to make a big impact in the boxing world and to lead the future for the youth. Thank you.
Javon Sugarhill, ladies and gentlemen, a staple here in the boxing scene here in Michigan and doing a wonderful job with countless world champions. Before we meet the man whose name is on the marquee, his adversary is not here, but it bears to go ahead and introduce him in some way, shape, and form and go over some of his credentials. Dennis Douglin is from the rich boxing city of Philadelphia. So you have a rich boxing city in Philadelphia and a rich boxing state in Michigan. They're going to be going head-to-head on Friday, November 17th with PBC on FS1, 9 o'clock Eastern time here in Flint, Michigan. Tickets start as low as $20. But as you look at Dennis Douglin, he's won 3 of 4, and he's been in there with some world champions. I mean, top-level opposition. David Benavidez, he's been in there with George Groves, been in there with Dirrell Charlo. All of those guys are current world champions. So Dennis Douglin has been in there with the best, and he has a big opportunity here to come into the backyard of Anthony Dirrell, and he's training, he's focused, which is why he was unable to make it here from Philadelphia. But let's talk about the hometown fan favorite. He's coming home, he's coming home. Anthony Dirrell is coming home. It's been 6 years since he fought here in Flint, Michigan. He's a former world champion, but he's a world champion inside the ring and outside the ring. This guy cannot be put down whatsoever. He was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma back in 2007, underwent chemotherapy for 2 years. He did not let that deter him. If cancer can't beat that man, I don't know what can beat him, to be honest with you. He had a motorcycle accident. He broke his arm and his leg, and he came back. The thing is with Anthony Dirrell, he just continues to come forward. He's the kind of throwback fighter that was so emblematic of what the Kronk Boxing Gym is all about. Come forward, throw punches, take some shots, put on entertainment for the fans. And we were thinking about this fight could have ended up anywhere, and a lot of different places wanted it. But Anthony said, I want to come back here to Flint, Michigan. So lo and behold, Friday, November 17th, PBC on FS1. Flint, Michigan's very own Anthony the Dog Dirrell is back here in his home city. Please welcome the former WBC Supermiddleweight champion with an outstanding record, 30 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 24 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Anthony the Dog Dirrell.
Thank Al Heyman, TGB Promotions, Salida Promotions, just for giving this event. I wanted to bring something to Flint because of all the negativity that's been going on here, and bring life back. You know, Flint was a big city when I was growing up. You barely seen an abandoned house. Now you can go any street, anytime, and see a whole block full of abandoned houses, and it's sad. So I definitely want to bring recognition to my city, you know, bring events like this, you know, and just not boxing, with everything, you know, from concerts to celebrity basketball games, maybe even a celebrity hockey game, whoever can skate, you know. But it's an honor to be fighting here again and showcasing my talent in front of all my fans. I've been wanting to do it for a long time, and we finally got this moment to do it, and I'm gonna be great at that moment. And I've been preparing for this fight. I've been in the gym working my ass off, and I'm gonna continue to. And this is just one. Maybe I'll have another one here. Hopefully I can. This is a good turnout. Most definitely I'll have another one. But I just want to give the fans and the people in my city something to come to and see and enjoy this and enjoy themselves without something bad happening. So if you come here nothing bad will happen. You'll be heavily protected, and just witness something great. Witness a fun family event. You know, bring your kids, bring your mother, your sister, your daughter, whoever. Just bring them and come out and see this tremendous event. Thank you.
Anthony the Dog Dirrell, ladies and gentlemen, fighting Dennis Duckman Friday, November 17th. Well, you know, you have a sports franchise in the Flint Firebirds here in Flint, Michigan, but also I look at the Dirrell brothers. They are their own franchise. There are two fighters that you need to, without a doubt, get behind. And on Friday, November 17th, PBC on FS1 Premier Boxing Champions, you can see him fight live for just $20. What an amazing deal that is going to be. It will be electric here in Flint, so make sure to come out. Thank you very much also to the media for coming out and covering tonight's event. During fight week, we will have events as well the weigh-in, along with several other PR events, so be on the lookout for press releases in regards to that. Now, if we can have all the fighters that will be fighting that night come here on the stage and get a photo all together. So all the fighters that are fighting on Friday, November 17th with PBC on FS1, get on stage and take a photo with Tom Brown of TGB Promotions and Dimitri Salita of Salita Promotions, and the media can go ahead and get the photo done. Thank you very much, and we'll see you on Fight Week. Thank you.